Protests turned destructive in downtown Seattle tonight. Here's what we know. Since then, we have seen widespread looting. 200 members of the Washington National Guard have been called up to come into Seattle. 75 have been deployed to Seattle tonight, the other 100.
I am also taking swift and decisive action to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. What happened in the city last night was a total disgrace. As we speak, I am dispatching thousands and thousands of heavily armed soldiers, military personnel, and law enforcement officers to stop the rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property.
Hello there, everyone. Hey, Alfred, your friend. It's your brother right here, coming to talk to you again today. Good stuff's going on, a bunch of good stuff going on. Now, the debates have begun between the president and Biden. Remarkable stuff, unbelievable stuff. Hey, I leave it up to you guys to go ahead and make up your mind. But the things that I'm commenting on you about are things that Trump actually accomplished. I mean, again, these are not make-believe stuff. This is not a Republican pouring out a bunch of propaganda. No, these are the facts. These are bills, these are policies, these are things that have been pushed by the president. Dollars have been spent. Amazing things are occurring. I would like to comment on the debates, but hey, for another time. All right. Hey, but today, again, I want to be able to tell you some of the things that Trump has done that has been absolutely huge to the American economy and therefore good for our race. Now, remember, I'm wanting to speak primarily to the black patriots that are out there. To the black patriots, this is huge, as well as the brown, our Latino brothers, our Hispanic brothers, and so please pay attention to what's being said, pay attention to the policies and everything that has been passed, pay attention to what has directly benefited our race. I think that I might even be better able to articulate it than both the president and Biden, because I've been doing community work my entire life, and I've been studying these policies because they have a direct impact on community members, and so I'm able to tell you exactly how they're going to impact our people, which is what I'm doing right now. And so I'm going to continue. Now listen, I need for you to continue to share this with as many people as you possibly can. This is huge. If you're new to hearing these programs, go back and hear some of my older programs as well, and share them before the election. And those of you who even want to debate the points, good, leave some notes or whatsoever, but you do realize that these are not opinions that I'm giving. These are the facts. These are actual things that are either laws or the president signed the executive orders pushing them forward. All right. This stuff is very huge. Hey, how about this one right here? As a matter of fact, I'm continuing these things because I want you to see the things that he's done. And so I've studied all of these things, and all you do is collect the laws, collect them. And then you're able to comment on them. Easy stuff. The president, by his tax cut and Jobs Act, listen, over $1 trillion worth of money that was in other countries. So you got to understand, when the tax laws are very high here, our businesses are going to end up going to countries that have lower taxes. Listen, this stuff is not difficult. People want to keep more of their money. And if America is going to be overtaxing people, well, then these businesses will go places where they're not so taxed. And then they'll sell their goods here or whatsoever, or they'll keep their monies over there so that the monies are not taxed. Well, when the president cut taxes and created also the Jobs Act, all that happening at once, there was $1 trillion, over $1 trillion that was repatriated, which means those people and their businesses came back under the haven of the United States. Now you might say, what does that do? That $1 trillion automatically stimulates the economy. You got to understand how the people that have the big money, they're not like those of us who live from paycheck to paycheck. They are interested in investing. They are interested in growth. They are interested in growing their money. All these various companies, they're interested in growing their revenue. They do that by investing. They do that by enlarging their own business. They do that by hiring and all kinds of stuff. They do a bunch of things. These directly affect what's going on in the black and in the brown community. The more financial dollars here, the more potential investment dollars here, the more potential innovation dollars that come here, all help in the creation of new jobs. Folks, I'm telling you, it's just the way it is. The creation of new jobs means that the labor pool shrinks. When it shrinks, well, then the value of the worker goes up. Folks, it's just the way it is. This is just the way it is. These dollars returned to our shores. That was done by the President's Tax Cut and Jobs Act. Folks, it's just the way it is. Over $1 trillion repatriated back into the United States. Businesses coming here, billionaires and their dollars that they've been keeping offshores because of the high coming back into the country, able to stimulate the economy. And that's why I'm telling you, before COVID hit, the economy was the best in the history of the United States and definitely the best in the world. Unbelievable stuff. So folks, anticipate the same president who built up the economy up until COVID is the same president, a business genius. And you can count on this third quarter. We're about to come to the end of September now. We should be hearing the numbers for the third quarter. They're going to be good. Fourth quarter is going to be good. Come January, there's going to be some beautiful stuff taking place. And of course, I'm confident that the president will win the re-election. But please, folks, pass this on out. Continue to hear about what's going on. What would you prefer? That trillions of dollars to stay offshore because they're being overtaxed here? Or do we bring those dollars back here so that investments can be made, jobs can be increased, and our people, black and brown, our market value goes up because the labor pool shrinks? This is just the way it is, everybody. All right? Hey, listen, the next thing, wow, matter of fact, look at this one. Manufacturing jobs are growing at the fastest rate in more than 30 years. That's huge. Now, this, of course, happened pre-COVID. Pre-COVID. Yes, but this was what happened under Trump. Trump himself facilitated this. Manufacturing jobs in the United States growing at the fastest rate for more than 3 decades. Folks, that's because of his policies. And if those manufacturing jobs are going up, you can count on the fact that our people as well are included in those manufacturing numbers. Okay? Folks, listen, do you want the manufacturing jobs to continue to increase? Now, Obama, when at the end of his administration, when Trump was saying he's going to bring these manufacturing jobs back here, Obama was saying, well, how are you going to do that? I mean, what magic wand are you going to use to bring those jobs back? Well, obviously, Trump had a pretty good magic wand because these jobs came back, and they're going to increasingly come back. Folks, this is a good time for the United States in terms of business. May God help us all, but you need to consider this. One more time, more manufacturing jobs here. More manufacturing jobs, more growth in manufacturing jobs than in the last 3 decades. That is, I was 21 years old, when we had the kind of numbers that we had in November and December of last year before COVID broke out. And those are tremendous numbers, everybody. And our people stand to gain a bunch from that, okay? Good stuff. Hey, how about this one? The stock market reached record highs. By the way, the stock market has broken record after record after record after record after record under President Trump. Now, you might say, what does the stock market have anything to do with me? Well, those of you out there that have 401ks, that have any kind of retirement being set up for yourself, when the stock market goes up, the value of your stock goes up as well. Your retirement funds and everything go up. That's huge. The market is also a reflection of the larger companies and their growth. And it happens to be that naturally those companies generally help stimulate the economy as a whole. Their numbers often reflect what's going on in Main Street. So Wall Street, after a while, affects Main Street. It's just the way it is. Their growth, if it's steady and regular, it generally means that the health of the economy generally is doing well. Trump has it so that record after record after record with the Dow Jones, with NASDAQ, all these different stock market, these stock measures were breaking records. Folks, and even now, they're up there near record high. Even now, during this COVID mess, the stock markets are still up. Folks, this is amazing. Now, the question is, what are you going to do? Can you imagine right now in the middle of COVID, with the economy taking a hit to the gut because of we had to shut things down because of a virus? Even now, the stock market is stronger than at any time during Obama's administration. This is huge. Okay, pay attention, everyone. Wow, median household income has hit its highest level ever recorded. The median household income across the country, black, white, Hispanic, has reached the highest level ever recorded in American history. The median household income. That means we're bringing in more money on average than at any time in the history of our country. Folks, these are facts right here. These are not opinions. It's not something that we're just pulling out in order to support Trump. No, the stuff is factual. All right? Huge stuff. What do you want to do? You want to reverse that? Because I'm going to tell you, the policies that the Democrats are trying to push, they will not promote the kind of growth that our nation needs in order for our people to become wealthier. We need for the free markets to work. We need for revenue, there to be movement in the markets, movement in investments, movement in these companies. And that's only going to happen when you have a president that understands that the market needs to be unleashed. And how do you do that? Tax cuts. Cut the taxes on these people who are the builders, who are the developers, and they will grow. When they grow, they hire. And when they hire, we work and we make more money. Good stuff. Good stuff. African American unemployment hit its all-time low in the history of the United States of America. Folks, this happened under Trump. And folks, it was just a few months ago before COVID hit. Under President Trump, the unemployment rate for blacks hit its lowest level in the history of the United States of America. No, it's not opinion, everyone. This is fact. And it did it during the time of Trump with his policies. Not Obama, not Bush, not Clinton, not Bush 1, not even Ronald Reagan, and definitely not Carter before him. This happened under Trump. Trump and his policies made these things happen. The lowest unemployment rate for Hispanic Americans, all-time lows. All-time lows in terms of unemployment for Hispanic Americans under Trump. All-time lows. Before COVID hit, all-time lows. In the history of our country, there wasn't such low unemployment among the Hispanics. Hispanics, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to roll that back? You're going to go back to something that stifled growth, that was led to high unemployment among blacks and Latinos. I mean, is that what you want? Or do you want a president that's pro-growth, that'll help you to generate the revenue that you need to grow your businesses or to just at least increase your income and take care of your families? But you do have an option. All right. So again, Hispanic Americans, your unemployment rate, just like blacks, hit an all-time low in the history of the United States of America. That's beautiful stuff. Asian American unemployment, all-time low. Asian American unemployment, historic lows in the history of American record keeping under Trump. No, not under Obama. No, not under Bush. Under Trump. All-time historic lows because of the president's policies. Asians, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I consider you among the brown as well. What are you going to do? You're going to turn against those kind of numbers? Where your unemployment rate is the lowest it's been in the history of the United States? Folks, I think that you ought to be thinking about this. By the way, these are not opinions that I'm giving you. Again, I'm certain that there are many of you out there, especially my own race, who are saying, no, that can't be true. No, it is true. Just do your studies. Do your studies. And this is huge stuff. How about women's unemployment? Their unemployment dropped to a 65-year low. That is, the unemployment rate was lower under Trump than it was in my entire lifetime for women. Do you hear me? 65-year low. 65-year low. The unemployment for women was never lower under Trump in my lifetime. And I'm 51 years old. Folks, this is huge. Females that are out there, they're looking for economic activity and growth and opportunity and incentive and investment opportunity. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to actually go against that kind of growth, go against that kind of record? No, I tell you, if you do that, you're about to reverse course. Folks, you haven't seen a pinch until you put these folks in charge again. And if they happen to gain power again, and please don't let them have a super majority like Obama did in his first 2 years, they'll wreck the country. Folks, you got to listen to me. Make certain that you back Trump during this time. The opportunities that he's creating, the low unemployment, the money returning to our shores, allowing for more growth and investment and things of the sort, the trade policies, these things are all huge. And listen, I'm hoping that you're wisely going to be considering that and voting accordingly. Amazing stuff. Youth unemployment at a 50-year low. youth unemployment, that is young people who are allowed to work, high school students or whatsoever, this is a 50-year low. That means listen, I might have been 1 year old when it was lower than it is right now, the youth unemployment. Okay? This is huge. This is huge. You young people, even you 18-year-olds that are out there, okay? Remember, your younger brother and younger sister need to get a job as well. They want to work a job, but they're only going to be able to get a job when businesses are able to grow. When the businesses grow, then they hire. If businesses do not grow because they're being taxed too high, that is, they got to give the government too much money, and they can't use that money to grow their business. If they don't grow their business, then they can't hire. And if they don't hire, your little brother, little sister might not get a job. Under Trump, because of the tax breaks, the businesses were able to grow. Since they were able to grow, they were able to hire. Since they were able to hire, you're dealing with a 50-year low for youth unemployment, a 65-year low for women's unemployment, an all-time low for Asians, Hispanic, and African Americans. Just case in point. It's just the way it is. These are facts. These are not my opinion. This is not propaganda. This is the truth. Okay? These are the numbers. All right? Unbelievable. We have the lowest unemployment rate ever recorded. So under Trump, we recorded the lowest unemployment rate in the United States ever recorded. The overall unemployment rate under Trump, we experienced the lowest unemployment rate ever recorded in American history. Now, what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that? You're going to go against that? Folks, you do understand that the lowest unemployment rate means that our race is among them. Okay, we're among them. Okay, you're going to make certain that our jobs continue, and they only continue under particular policies. That's why it never hit it under Obama. It didn't hit it under Bush. Matter of fact, Obama's unemployment rate finally hit what Bush's was at the beginning of Obama's term. It just brought it back down to where Bush ended. Trump has defeated all of them in terms of his success at reducing the unemployment rate. That was done by Trump, not Obama, not Bush, not Clinton, not Bush, not Reagan, not Carter, okay? Good stuff. All right, good stuff, folks. You got to hear all this. Wow. Trump's pledge to American workers has resulted in employers committing to train more than 4 million Americans. This is job training that these employees have committed to train their workers, and it directly impacts us, everybody. Trump's commitment to the worker. Listen, these businesses were able to grab hold of Trump's coattail because they knew he was going to do it. They knew that he was going to make these investments. They knew that he was going to do those tax cuts. They knew it. And when Trump did it, these pledged to go ahead and train 4 million workers. This is huge. This is huge. And we are all here, and your sons and daughters are here. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to vote against your sons and daughters' prosperity? When you see this kind of growth, this is documented, this is fact, this is an opinion. I'm not just throwing stuff out there, okay? Believe me, if these numbers weren't there, I wouldn't be reporting it. I don't care about either one of these parties in particular, but I am going after principles and outcome, I'm going after a party that's going to support life, that's going to support the idea of God, those that don't discriminate against Christianity. I go for job growth. I go for general morals altogether. I don't like the fact that a party wants to kill a baby in the womb at all, much less kill it when it survives abortion. I don't like any of that kind of stuff. I don't like a party that cheers on Antifa and the burning down of cities, okay, stuff like that. So I vote the way I vote based on principles and outcome, just the way it is. And these outcomes are real to me. These are the things that affect us. These are the things that affect lives. And my peers, we need to go ahead and do what we can do to make certain that these things continue. Our young people are counting on it. Our adults and husbands and wives are counting on it. The Latinos, your unemployment rate is counting on you voting right. You Orientals, yes, your unemployment rate is based on what Trump is doing, your hard work, and then his policies combining together. If you're wanting that to continue for the sake of your children, you need to go ahead and vote accordingly. Donald J. Trump. Now you get him back in office. The election is coming up, and we need your support. Listen, I love every one of you. I respect every one of you, even the ones that disagree with me. I'm telling you, I love you. You're fellow Americans, but my folks, I'm just asking you. You need to consider. You need to consider everything that I'm telling you. By the way, again, is if this is the first time you're hearing me, listen to some of the other broadcasts that we sent out there, and realize what's going on, and then vote right. Okay, we need you. I love you and I respect you.
also taking swift and decisive action to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. What happened in this city last night was a total disgrace. As we speak, I am dispatching thousands and thousands of heavily armed soldiers, military personnel, and law enforcement officers to stop the rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property.
Action for business and industry to create more and better jobs for Americans by providing education and training opportunities for students and workers. People are coming off the sidelines and securing opportunities to provide for themselves and their families. Virtually every demographic is achieving historically low unemployment rates. The president's call to action has led to a full-blown national movement. Over the last year, more than 300 businesses and organizations, large and small, have signed our Pledge to America's Workers. And today, we celebrate reaching over 12 million pledges. Every single pledge is a commitment to the promise of an individual and his or her potential. We are changing the conversation on workforce development so we can prepare for the jobs of today and tomorrow. The real impact and stories of transforming lives is when companies, states, governments invest in their greatest asset, the American worker.